I was having a lot of trouble. Right, wonderful. Thank you for doing that, Inez. So yeah, as I say, I've been in the business now 5 months. So welcome everyone. Thank you for that. Um, I've been in Lifewave for 5 months. I'm a dog walker and boarder, and I've been having terrible hip trouble for over 2 years, about 2.5 years, and was living on painkillers and having steroid injections every 6 months. And it was potentially career ending for me. Not great being a dog walker who can't walk very far. And my consultant, who was giving me these steroid injections every 6 months, was merrily telling me that it was degenerative and it wasn't going to get better. I've got a partially torn greater trochanter tendon as well as bursitis in both hips. And he said I just needed to get used to it and live with the pain. So I wasn't very happy with that. And I happened to see Inez posting on Facebook about these crazy little patches she was using for herself and her husband and the results they were getting. But more importantly to me, she was also using them on her rescue dogs. So my little ears pricked up, because if someone's using something on a dog, there's no, there can't be a placebo effect. So I was immediately interested, and I messaged her and said, can I have some info on these patches, please? And I just, jumped on it. And so I'll give it a go. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. And if they're rubbish, I'll send them back and go and have the steroid injection. But I started patching, and very quickly the results were great. Within 2 months, my pain had disappeared. I've had no more steroid injections. I don't live on painkillers. In fact, I don't take any at all now, which is wonderful. And I can get a full day's work in and still go shopping without having to hang on to the shopping trolley like it's a Zimmer frame. So I'm sharing this with lots of people now, as everyone here. And it's the most exciting thing I have come across in a very long time. So those of you that haven't chance to elevate, activate, and regenerate your body. They're wonderful, absolutely wonderful. If we can, so the next thing we've got to talk about, if we're talking about the patches, we obviously have to talk about the inventor. And this is the most amazing man called David Schmidt. He's the CEO of Lifewave. He's a scientist and inventor of the X39 patch. He's a doctor of science and technology, and he's received not one, but 2 advanced technology awards by the International Hall of Fame. That takes some doing. Over 30 years experience in business and product development, and he specializes in age reversing. This guy is one of the world's leading specialists in age reversing. In 2008, he started to focus his attention on stem cell research. That was the big buzzword back then. And he's actually the holder of over 180 patents, with over half of those in the field of regenerative science and technology. His most recent patent for the product we're going to introduce you today took over 10 years and $4.5 million in development to bring it to market. So, he really put everything into it. And so this is fully patented technology. The X39 is a wearable phototherapy apparatus that produces beneficial effects to a human body via a non-transdermal patch. This reflects or emits specific wavelengths of light to elevate the levels of the copper peptide GHK-Cu in the body. According to at least one embodiment of the invention, which may be worn anywhere on the human body, as a result of elevating copper peptide, which activates stem cells, there were improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvements in stamina, improvements in strength, elevation of collagen production, and improved wound healing. So that's a lot of stuff to have in a patent, and you have to prove all that to actually get a patent. And there it is in black and white. Now, clinical studies, there are a lot of clinical studies, but here is actually a double-blind test published in the Internal Medicine Research Open Journal, and this one showed a significant increase in copper peptide concentrations in the blood of subjects who had worn the X39 patches for only 1 week. So that is a big result there. And what happens to your body when the levels of copper peptides are increased? Well, it's been clinically proven, the copper peptides, to do all these things. They activate healthy stem cells, reduce inflammation. I'm not going to read all of these, but just have a look at this list. I mean, there are so many different things here supporting lung tissue repair, digestive tract repair, improves wound healing, improves hormone balance, balanced emotions. I mean, the things this does is pretty universal for the body. So is it life-changing? Well, what if only 10% of the benefits listed there happen to you? You know, just one or two things. Remember that everyone is different. The patch helps your body to do the work. It goes to work where you need it most. And, you know, everybody is an individual. This could be life-changing for you. It certainly was for me. So when you can get your body to heal itself, that's when the miracles start to happen. So what is important to know is copper peptides don't interfere with medication or treatments. What it does is it enhances your body's own ability to repair and heal. So the only actual interaction would be if you're healing faster than your medications are then becoming too strong. So sometimes we might see this, for example, in someone who's diabetic, who's on medication to help their blood glucose stay low or manageable. As their pancreas starts to heal, it's going to start pumping out the correct amounts of insulin. So it's not interfering. Your body is actually getting better. So obviously that's a good thing. So that person, for example, might need to change their dosage, have it reduced, or maybe eventually even stopped. And we do see this happen. So for anyone on medication, it is important they inform their GP or health practitioner what they're doing and ask for regular blood tests, because there are so many testimonies of people being able to come off medication over time. It's absolutely amazing. So why do we all need the X39 stem cell activation patch? Well, we're all born with stem cells. The stem cells have two important properties. They're able to make more cells like themselves, so they self-renew, and they can change into other cells that do different things in the body. So, for example, they could become bone tissue, they could be skin, they could become liver, heart, whatever. So by the age 30, only half of our stem cells are actually working. Now, I didn't realise this. It was absolutely amazing to me. And by age 60, which is where I hit this year, you've hardly got any active stem cells at all. And obviously, the fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. And hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging on a daily basis. They really are. Now, if you could just imagine for a minute having active, healthy new cells, just like when you were young, when you were scampering about in the fields, playing outside when you were a kid, you know, do you remember how amazing that felt? This is possible. So how does the X39 actually work? Well, it uses a process called phototherapy. Your body actually emits heat in the form of infrared light. So when you apply X39, it actually traps infrared light and reflects part of those wavelengths back into your skin. This signals the body to produce copper peptides. So a great example of phototherapy, one we all know about, is the sun. When you go out in the sun, your body produces vitamin D on its own just by using the sun's ultraviolet rays, which interact with the protein in your skin, and that converts into vitamin D. So we're all really familiar with the most basic form of phototherapy. So the X39 basics, this is technology. It's not a medication, it's not drugs, it's not stimulants. This is patented nanocrystal technology. The nanocrystal structure in the patch is made up of organic amino acids, salts, and sugars, which are sandwiched between two pieces of medical grade plastic. The nanocrystal structure is just there for your body's own light to reflect back from. The structure breaks down over time, which is why the patches are only worn for a certain length of time, but nothing actually goes into your body except your own infrared light, you know, and it's just come out of your body and it's going back in. This is scientifically proven. It's clinically proven to significantly increase copper peptides. So remember, this is also not available anywhere else. No other company can copy this. We have the patent on this. No one else can touch it. So how to wear the X39? You wear your patch for 12 hours on and 12 hours off to help repair and rejuvenate. And that's actually to prevent what's called attenuation. So your body doesn't get too used to the signal and start to ignore it. So 12. And then you either throw the patch away, or what I mostly do is I save the patches that we've used, myself and my family, and we save them for dogs, because it's still what I call a dog dose. There's a little bit left in the patches, not to give enough for an adult dose, but and certainly enough to put on the dog's collar and help the dogs out. And I see some fantastic results from that as well. And then, of course, the next day you put on a new patch and repeat the process. You can wear more than one patch at a time, but we don't recommend that's more than one X39 patch. We've actually got other patches that are complementary as well, but the main patch is the X39. And also it's really important to drink plenty of water and also take electrolytes, because studies have shown that 96% of people are actually short on electrolytes in one form or another. So electrolytes are really important, and drinking plenty of water helps to make your body more conductive and helps to flush out the toxins as things get to work. Now, this slide here shows a topography map there was a group study, and this particular one is from a participant who was a 77-year-old woman, and the X39 was placed on the back of her neck, the nape of her neck. In session 1, you can see there's quite a lot of red and orange going on there, and she had quite a lot of inflammation in her brain and a lack of brain coherence. She was quite confused. So then she was given an X39 patch. On session 2, she'd been on the X39 patch for 3 weeks. And you can already see that the red colours have gone and there's no more inflammation just in 3 weeks. And her brain coherence had really changed. And then we come on to session 3, 6 weeks later, rather 6 weeks on X39. She's had a complete turnaround, much better brain coherence. So it can be noted that when she came in, her brain was hyperactive and her brain calmed down dramatically at the second visit, session 2. And after wearing the X39 patch for 3 weeks, her brain had remained calm and continued to do so for the 6-week session as well. That's a big turnaround. And so X39, the long-term results, what can you expect with wearing the X39 on a daily basis? So per case studies on thisisit.info.com, the first few days, you will see over 4,000 genes begin to reset to a younger age. That's a big number. And a lot of people will start to feel those things changing really, really quickly. Within the first 6 weeks, the brain starts to become balanced, as we just saw from the topography slide a moment ago. And then when we get to 3 months, the collagen has really increased. Now, I personally have noticed that my hair is growing like crazy. I normally have short hair. I've given up getting haircuts. But it's not just your hair and nails. Your collagen in your body is actually the most prevalent protein in your whole body. So it's there in your muscles, your organ tissues, your skin, your eyes. Collagen is really important, and if you can increase the collagen in your body, it's going to make it more elastic and much more effective. And so thus when we get to 6 months, your heart actually will be shown to have reversed in age by in the studies up to 8 years. Now, who doesn't want their heart to reverse age by 8 years? Excuse me. It's absolutely crazy. And as David Smith says, it's actually not anti-aging, it's age reversing. So the X39, excuse me, so simple, yet so sophisticated, excuse me. And the testimonies we get all the time are not just life-changing, but they're really, really emotional. And excuse me, the voice is about to go. But the best thing about X39 is it absolutely works for everyone. It really does. We have some other patches too. We call these the ancillary patches, and these were very popular before X39 came along. X39 is so universal. It does an awful lot of things, but we do have some other things as well, like the energy enhancer patches. We've got Lifewave, for example, for pain. There's lots of different patches for different things, but we always start with the X39. Now, I've told you a little bit about me. I'm hoping Inez is going to share a little bit about her testimonial, and then hopefully we'll have a couple of other people who might be able to just pop in and tell us a little bit about their experience too. Thank you, Inez.
Oh, thank you, Val. Your voice hung out there. Just about you getting to the end.
Everyone else is laid up in bed, and I'm feeling really good. So
you can't complain at that, can you? And well, that's the thing, isn't it? It doesn't stop us from getting sick, but we heal much faster and we get over things really quick. So I was introduced to the patches by Jules, who's on the call, about a year ago, and I honestly thought it was a load of codswallop. She said, this little plastic thing is going to change your life and you're going to, all your aches and pains will go away. And I thought, well, I've divorced 2 of them, so you know, what's he going to do for the third? Anyhow.
Yeah, he's still here, by the way. Right, he's still here. Okay.
My current husband.
Okay. So it doesn't remove all pain.
Still some left. So anyway, I got my kit, put the patch on the back of my neck, and it started to release my right hand side of my neck. And I'd had it's like a tight muscle, which I've had for years and years and years and years and years. And it would occasionally get into really bad sort of migraine type headaches. Well, that's completely gone. At the time, I was a bit of an old crock. I had a torn meniscus in my right knee. My right elbow had the ligaments in my right elbow were really bad from dogs over 10 years ago, yanking on the end of the lead and damaging that. My wrist was really weak. I'd had to give up yoga because of my knee. My shoulder was bad. I mean, it's amazing when you start to look at what is actually wrong, how many things we're getting wrong. I was having to hire somebody to come around and sort of lift any heavy weights. Like I was mixing cement for fireballs I was making at the time. And I could only really get one of the sacks out the car, so I needed somebody to help me. And I was just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Anyhow, all of that has completely gone. And it's just been an incredible result. I went back to yoga, and my yoga instructor couldn't believe it. She's recommended people to me. One was our very first customer. But because of the result I had, my husband that you just saw there, he had 8 years ago, he woke up one morning paralyzed in a lot of pain, got stretchered off to hospital. They couldn't find out what was wrong. He has got impacted lower discs. He has got arthritis in most of his joints, but it wasn't to do with that. We moved inland because of all the dogs and everything, because we didn't know if it was going to happen again. And a chiropractor diagnosed that he had an unnatural curvature at the top of his spine. So his head's going further forwards, gravity's pulling it down, impinging on the spinal cord. And that was what has caused the paralysis. And within 5 to 7 years from back then, he was going to be in a wheelchair. That was it. There was no if, but, or maybe. That was what our life was going to be. So there's me, him getting worse and worse and worse. And at the point now, he would have been either using a walker or in a wheelchair. And me, I couldn't even lift up a bag of cement. So how am I going to help him lift him around and get him to the toilet and all this type of stuff? So anyway, so with these patches, I said, let's try them. You know, if I get 5%, 10% of mobility back, it's going to be amazing. He's gone on within a few weeks. His pain levels went down. Everything started getting better. And we were at a party yesterday, 5.5 hours. He could sit in any of the chairs. Nothing mattered. He has his life back. Consequently, I have my life back. And you can see how cheeky he is now. He would normally be sat in the corner of the lounge and he wouldn't say a word to anybody. He didn't want to live. He got to the point where he just didn't want to live because of the pain. So these things are absolutely incredibly life-changing. Is there anybody else here on the call who'd like to unmute and give a testimonial? If not, no, we'll carry on and then.
I'll do a very quick one about my mum, if that's okay,
Inez. Yes, please.
Because my mother actually started patching the same day as me. So she's now been patching for 5 months. My mother is 83 and works 1 day a week doing housekeeping or housework and a bit of gardening for a family that she's known for over 30 years, who are just like family. And so she was patching. And at first she thought not much was happening. I mean, she's 83. She was very, very sluggish, and she was thinking about giving up her 1 day a week work, and she was desperately depressed about it. You know, she was really, really sad. And I mean, she'd been patching, and her step count actually doubled in a couple of months. And she said, "Oh, I don't think it's doing an awful lot." I said, "Mother, your step count has doubled." "Oh, yes, I suppose it has," she said. And so I asked her about 3.5 months in. I said, "Are you still thinking about giving up work for Jane, Mum?" "Oh, no," she said, "I've got the energy now." I said, "So the patches are doing something?" "Yes," she said. And she actually stopped using the patches for a few days because she went away for a weekend. And then she realised how bad she felt without them. So she immediately came back and started patching again. So 3 weeks ago, she was round for dinner. Now, my mother's been deaf as a post for years, and it took us ages to persuade her to get hearing aids because she would get very stroppy if I had to repeat myself or raise my voice to make her understand what was going on. So we were halfway through dinner, And she said, "Oh, have you noticed anything, dear?" I said, "No, what?" She said, "I haven't got my hearing aids in." Well, I thought she had, because I hadn't been having to repeat myself or raise my voice. I said, "So you're not wearing your hearing aids?" "No," she said, "I don't need them anymore." I said, "You're joking. Well, you can hear fine." She said, "Absolutely fine." She said, "But I'm really cross." She said, "Because I wasted £3,000 on these hearing aids." I said, "Mother, I don't think you're really getting the point here. You've got your hearing back." I said, "It's amazing." "Well, yes, I suppose so," she said.
Incredible,
Mothers.
incredible. Yeah,
So
yeah,
we weren't expecting that. It's absolutely brilliant.
yeah.
She's never going to stop patching. She loves it.
No, exactly. I mean, my eyesight got better. I don't wear my glasses anymore. And that
Yeah.
was sudden. I hadn't even noticed. I'd gone to yoga class, took glasses and shoes off and everything, raced out of there, gone to see somebody round town and everything, and suddenly realized I wasn't wearing my glasses. I haven't worn them since then. And I've been wearing those since I was 22. So yeah, phenomenal, phenomenal. Anyhow, so let me tell you a little bit about the business. We are expanding, and we're having to expand because we have these products that people need. We've got something that people need, and there are millions and millions and millions of people who do need these. It is wearable technology in patch form. It's affordable, it's safe, it's non-invasive, and there are no drugs. It is a patented form of technology. Each patch uses light from our own bodies to increase or improve specific naturally occurring cellular action. So with the opportunity to spread the word and build with us. Corporate handles virtually everything. This is something I really liked, because as soon as you become registered with the business, you get a website. There's an app on the go. You've got all the little videos. There's another website that you can actually use to send to people to explain what there is around. There are all these Zoom calls as well. There are brochures, and there's all packaging, branded tools, all sorts of things that you can utilize. And the wonderful thing is you can just grow. You can earn as you're learning. Okay. And you don't really need to learn an awful lot. It's order the patch, take off the backing, slap it on, drink some water, get your result, tell other people. And you will also find that your customers will tell other people, because they'll not be able to shut up. I mean, it's so visual when somebody, throws their walking stick away. One of my friends, after 1 week, her bilateral sciatica pain went completely. She was literally skipping down the road. So that's got me 3 customers. She's not interested in the business, but she's passed me the referrals. So, it's just phenomenal. There are 5 ways to make money. So very basically, you've got profits from retail sales. You have a product introduction bonus when you bring in new team members underneath yourself. There is a matching bonus. It's all to do with the points, to do with the purchases that your team make. So your team buy products for whatever reason, use them themselves, for their customers, etc., etc. There are points attached to all the sleeves of those products, and that means that the company will pay you money on top of for that. There's a matching bonus on top of that, binary bonuses. Don't worry and get too het up with the whole thing. All you need to do, get the product, get your result, tell people, and repeat. Get people onto these calls. There are Zoom calls going on all the time. And there are also some fantastic member incentives. So some of our team are in Morocco at the moment on an incentive. There's another one coming up in Dubrovnik. There's monetary ones. It's just incredible. So whatever you want. And the great thing is about this, you can earn as much as you want. So totally up to you. If you're looking for a couple of extra €100 or pounds a month or a week to supplement your income, we have a plan for you. If you're looking to replace an income for whatever reason, we have a plan for you. If you're looking for the really big money, we have a plan for you too. And it all starts with getting that patch on and getting a result. So if you want more information, and I'm sure most of you have this, we have our team website. This is at info.com. And it's a brilliant little website there. It's got all the sciences on there. If anybody says, oh, what about this or what about that? Testimonials and all sorts of things. Nice and simple. So the question is, have you been patched yet? And when are you going to be? So we still have a few minutes. Oh, somebody's asked a question. Great testimonials. Thanks, Jules. Would anybody like to unmute themselves and say anything? Any questions? Oh, I think I need to stop sharing.
Am I there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I'm really sorry. It's my first Zoom call ever. I've no idea what I'm doing.
Irene, you're doing great.
Brilliant. Thank you. I can't see anything now. Why is that?
What can't you see?